You're listening to Allman in the Morning, Common Sense Radio.
Good morning, you bunch of drunks.
So I got my answer. We were talking about the WNBA and how odd it was that you had women who were marching against gun rights and yet now playing basketball for Planned Parenthood. I'm thinking to myself, okay, so how many people have died because of abortions and how many people have died because of guns? So somebody sent me a little graph, and it says death in America, abortion versus guns, 1973 through 2013. So we have a 30-year period there. And let's see, 54,559,000 abortions, 524,000 gun deaths. So you leave my guns alone, I'll leave your uterus alone, and let's all be peaceful Americans, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Petersen is in the studio. We are Facebook Living it as well. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning.
Well, loved your tweet because you directly tweeted. Oh, by the way, do you have a brother in Alaska and a brother in West Virginia? Because we need clones.
Right. Murkowski and Capito gots to go.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. Austin Petersen just yesterday afternoon tweeted at Lisa Murkowski, which is fantastic, right? Didn't you vote to repeal Obamacare just last year? So you're already holding Republicans, other Republicans, these people accountable because that's what you want to do in Washington is bring conservatism, bring liberty back.
Yeah, this Congress is making it very easy for a liberty Republican like myself because, you know, they campaigned, they promised that they were going to repeal it, they voted to repeal it, and now they can't get a vote to repeal it, and they're saying, oh, we don't want to cause chaos to the system. Like millions of people are going to lose the health insurance that we forced them to buy.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and this thing is ultimately what we saw was we saw a bunch of people who were voting, and I want to see more of them because I don't think Murkowski and Capito are the only ones who voted to repeal in 2015 and who will come back and say they won't vote. That's why we need to get these people on the record. Bottom line is, and they said that and they did that. They voted because they knew it wouldn't cost them anything and they could fundraise on it, maybe even be reelected on it, but would never really fully be accountable to their vote.
Right, but let's be honest. This is not about helping the poor people. What it is it's a giveaway to the insurance companies because what this new legislation had done, at least the one that failed before they went for the repeal vote, was it created this huge insurance pool where it was all of these subsidies essentially that were giveaways to insurance companies. So what the Senate is trying to do is they're making it illegal to purchase inexpensive health insurance. So we should have multiple options for us to be able to buy, but that the repeal and replace bill didn't do that. What it did was it subsidized the insurance companies at the expense of the middle class. It created these huge health insurance pools that destroyed competition in the system, and it leads to the consolidation of wealth to the upper and middle class, so that the poor and the middle class get screwed. I mean, and of course, there's a huge tax break for millionaires. I'm for tax breaks for everybody, but they're always taking care of their donors. They're always taking care of the investment class at the expense of the people who have to work for a living.
Well, that's why when we come up with this new tax reform plan, there are already talks about how, we don't want to take this deduction away. We don't want to take that deduction away, because everybody, Republican and Democrat, basically they love the system as it is because they work within it and horse trade deductions and favors and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, you and I know that income tax is theft, but
yes,
if we want to make this a fairer system, we need to get rid of the progressive income tax. We need to just go to a flat tax. I don't want to replace this tax with that tax. I just want to start cutting rates. And I think Rand Paul during his presidential campaign had the best plan, 15% across the board, get rid of the payroll tax because that's the real job killer in this society, and allow entrepreneurs to compete. But I mean, the tax system right now, people are complaining, buy American, buy American. But the reason why these corporations are fleeing overseas is because of the excessively high tax rates that they're paying. So if we flatten it out, everybody pays the same rates, you turn tax season into tax 2 minutes.
The regulatory environment as well. And that's why some of the simpletons in the media, when they were hearing President Trump talking about bringing manufacturing back, well, don't you make ties in Bangladesh? Yeah, and I don't want to. And the bottom line is people who are making things in America here aren't doing so for charity purposes. They're doing it because they are trying to work their way through the regulatory environment and tax environment. But we need more people to be able to feel that it's a better place to do business here in America than it is overseas.
Absolutely. And then it becomes an excuse for bigger government, and you kind of get back to the old know-nothing era, right, during Abraham Lincoln's time, where people are, they're becoming excessively worried about foreign competition. But, in some sense, what they're trying to do is save us from the tyranny of low prices. They're screwing the American consumer at the hope to supposedly help the American working man. But I mean, the American consumer are the people who don't have a voice in this. Nobody's speaking out for them, and any institution that tends to speak for the American consumer tends to be just a bailout, or it's some like export-import bank, which again is just a way to enrich the cronies that are behind it, people like Elizabeth Warren and her donors. So again, it's always a war on the middle class, it's always a war on the poor, and it's always packaged to us as the opposite.
Hang loose, because I want to talk to you more about...
You're listening to Allman in the Morning, Common Sense Radio.
Not only your candidacy for the U.S. Senate, possibly for the Republican nomination against Claire McCaskill if she's going to run. But anyway, you're off to the races. It's Austin Petersen. Came in second on the Libertarian presidential nomination ticket, but he is running as a Republican, and rightly so. We'll talk to him about that, and also about his karaoke.
Yeah.
Straight ahead.
97 Win News Time, 7:48. It's 77 degrees. I'm Denise Shaver, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. The National Weather Service has issued an excessive heat warning for the St. Louis area and across the state. The Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce says the city council made a critical error when it killed a plan to build a $55 million youth sports complex. The FBI will assist St. Louis police in investigating a recent increase of robberies and carjackings in the city. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Mets 5-0 last night. They play tonight at 6:10. This report brought to you by American Red Cross. Every 8 minutes, the American Red Cross brings help and hope to people in need. Thanks to the support of everyday heroes like you. Be a hero. Donate today. Visit redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. 97 Win News Time, 7:48. It's 77 degrees.
Traffic from the Franklin Acura Traffic Center.
Sponsored by Wow One Day Painting, 70 eastbound at Lucas and Hunt. It's a new accident here, and it looks like emergency vehicles are on scene. You're trying to make your way through there. Very heavy right now. 70 westbound at 79. Look out for a tire in that left lane. On 270 on the northbound side is rolling slow just past 55 and on past Manchester. All clear on 6440 on the eastbound side at the Boone Bridge. Had a vehicle that spun out, and a ladder was in the road there as well. The backup is past Miller School Road, but it is getting better. 55 southbound just past Broadway. Look out for that accident involving a semi. Here's a business you can own and make lots of money. Wow One Day Painting paints the whole house in one day, interior and exterior. Check out Wow One Day Painting at AmericanSmallBusiness.com. I'm Deetra Miles, 97.1 News Time, 7:49. It is 76 degrees.
All right, GovernorFrench.com, that is the website. And Governor French Academy, right there in the heart of Belleville, is a great place for those of you who are tired of sending your kids to classrooms that are way overloaded and to schools where the student-teacher ratio is just outlandish and the kids aren't getting the kind of education or attention that they need. Governor French on through K through 12. Great place to develop your child academically, and character building is a big thing with Governor French as well. And it's right there in the heart of Belleville. Their teacher-student ratio 1-8 is pretty great. The class size is no more than usually 12 or 13. And so you can be promised that kind of direct education, that direct attention, and it also is priced just right for you as well. They're opening enrollment for 2017 right now, and Headmaster Phillip will take you on a tour, and you'll see the beauty of Governor French Academy right there in beautiful downtown Belleville, GovernorFrench.com.
Drug or alcohol problems for you or a loved one can be solved, and with insurance. Treatment may be at little or no cost to you. Call the Detox and Treatment Helpline now. Save your family and yourself. 800-430-4149.
This is huge. For a limited time, Golden Oak Lending has lowered fixed rates. Don't miss out this time. Fixed rates in the 2s with APRs in the 3s. Call 314-567-GOLD and MLS 1149-37.
Dependable weather.
Clouds take control today. Chance of a couple of spotty
With
little...
Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray. Brought to you by Air Comfort Service with 0% financing and double utility rebates on new HVAC systems. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com. This hour of Allman brought to you by Precision Dental. Looking for a dentist with the latest technology in a comfortable setting? Dr. Stacy Ochoa of Precision Dental, Jamie's dentist, is now accepting new patients. Call 636-461-2255 to schedule an appointment today.
Allman in the Morning, Common Sense Radio.
At AP for Liberty on Twitter, AustinPetersen.com is the website. Austin Petersen is the candidate, the first to formally announce for the U.S. Senate, as we have a hot race coming up in 2018. And Austin has been very passionate and, I guess for lack of a better term, aggressive in getting his name out there, getting out there, and working hard, which is kind of what we want from our esteemed representative. So thanks for being with us. Now, you came in second on the Libertarian Party ticket, right?
Yeah.
For the nomination for president. And it was interesting, after you first appeared on the show last week, was it?
Yeah.
Last week. People go, well, I wonder if he's going to shave off some votes from the Republicans. I go, no, he's running as a Republican. Oh, okay, I get it. Because these days, Austin, as we all know, first of all, nobody knows what the hell a Republican is anyway.
Right.
And anybody who tries to define it is ridiculous. But we are definitely in a new frontier when it comes to trying to articulate conservative ideas. And infusing that into the Republican Party is a good thing.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, the true definition of a republic, right, is the idea that that public affairs are public, right? That you have a democracy, you know, with that is decentralized. So, like limited government, the idea that the individual is above the nation state. I mean, philosophically, that's what I believe, and we know that this is true, and that the founding fathers also, in a sense, codified it. Of course, the Declaration of Independence was not the law, essentially, but the idea is that we have the right to alter or abolish it, right? If the government doesn't serve our ends. And they call it the freedom of speech, which means that the freedom of speech existed before the writing of the Constitution. So our natural rights are innate. Some say they're God-given. And the idea is that, again, if this government becomes hostile to the ends of individual liberty, we can change it or we can overthrow it. Even Lincoln said that.
Right. And too often, though, as we've seen with some of these people cooperating essentially with Obamacare and its existence and going up there, even as Republicans, and going that they're really just being managers of stolen money from our incomes. We're tired of that, and I think there's a chance, and President Trump is the vessel for this right now in terms of opening up the Republican Party and introducing new ideas, and many of them ideas that maybe the Libertarian Party did embrace, but there's no reason Republicans can't embrace those either. Too often we've had the neocons running the show and the expansionists and all those kinds of folks, and now I think we're ready for a fresh look.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was the guy who came out and said some things that Ron Paul said during debates and got booed, right? He was the one that said the war in Iraq was a mistake, and we've wasted $2 trillion of American blood and treasure in the Middle East in this useless war. And again, 4 years before that, Ron Paul was getting roundly booed for saying that kind of thing. So in some ways, he's kind of broken the glass ceiling for upstarts, outsiders, anti-establishment people. He's not a guy throwing a brick into the establishment's ivory tower through the window. He's doing it from inside now. He's taken it over. He's destroyed the old GOP establishment, which had been laden with the neoconservative establishment. Many of them were liberal internationalists on the Democrat side, but these people had power, and no matter who was the president, nothing changed. But now the Republican Party is completely different. It's a populist party, and within populism are some elements of libertarianism, some ideas of limited government that I would like to get in, and I would like to broaden and expand, because I think that that's what's best for our country. That's what we were founded on. That's what I'm running for the U.S. Senate for.
Yeah, I've never figured out why populism is such a negative word, or even for that matter nationalism. And sometimes it can be because you don't want to be trying to serving every master around,
right?
But at the same time, though, there are some ideals where I wouldn't call Coolidge, for instance. You and I share a love of Calvin Coolidge, right?
Yeah, make Calvin Coolidge cool again.
Yeah, right, exactly. And when he went on in 1924 and warned against the invasive elements of a larger government and how ultimately we're all going to be serfs if we don't watch out, that was a populist idea at the time. I mean, it wasn't something that was necessarily negative. He was looking out for the people.
Right, but you have to remember that what's right isn't always what's popular, and what's popular isn't always what's right.
Right.
So you got to be very careful. And like Ron Paul said, our founders cherished liberty, not democracy. We have an electoral college for a reason. That's to put a check and balance against any tyranny of the majority or any whims that might happen with a mob mentality. So that's why our system is so beautiful, because the way we have these checks and balances set up is that every 4 years we have an election, but we can't change the government immediately, right? We have the constitutional amendment process, which is a difficult process to go through, but of course, Congress is skirting through that these days with these regulatory agencies. But I think that it's a good system, and we ought to get back to its roots and restore a true republic in the small r sense of the word. That's why I can consider myself a Republican without compromising my values.
Exactly. And, the Electoral College, which was, really translated, designed to keep New York and California from telling us who our president's going to be.
That's darn right.
And
Absolutely.
That's darn right.
Yeah.
All right, Austin Petersen, where can I see you karaoke?
Oh, yeah. Well, you can watch me on Facebook at facebook.com/AP for Liberty. I do a lot of karaoke fundraisers, raising a lot of money that way. You know what I mean? It's great.
And you're good at it too, brother.
Well, that's my background. I got a little singing experience, but yeah. So if you want to see me sing live, you can go to facebook.com/AP for Liberty. Our next goal, we're trying to raise $250K. We already raised $100K, so when we're trying to hit $250K by October. We think we can do it, but if we do that, then of course you're going to get another Facebook live stream. Just rock and roll.
I love it. Austin Petersen, love your passion. AustinPetersen.com. Follow on Twitter at AP for Liberty. Thanks for popping in, and you're on your way to Springfield now?
Yeah, we're going tonight, but I got a couple more TV stations, radio here in St. Louis. So
good deal. Yeah. All right, buddy. We'll see you later. Thanks for stopping in. 969-9797, 866-455-9797. Coming up, yes, it's the almighty Nickelback Daughtry ticket giveaway. 969-9797.